Hey everybody, it's your professional lovers in training. I'm Patty.
And I'm Al.
And we are here for our weekly recap of Married at First Sight. So tonight was recommitment night. All the couples met with Pastor Cal and Dr. Viviana. And then got together to talk about what their conversations were. Mm-hmm. So how about we start with our top couple, since they won't take long to discuss. That would be Jessica and Austin, who up to this point, the couples have reached the halfway mark, the end of 4 weeks of their 8-week journey. And so they are talking about their experiences up to now and what they need to be able to move forward, whether or not they want to move forward and what they need to be able to move forward. And then what they need to be able to say yes at the end of 8 weeks when they are asked the question, do you want to divorce or do you want to stay married? So Jessica and Austin, we know, have been the super couple so far. Very easy.
They're having fun.
Very limited to no expectation.
Transparent.
The one thing that Jessica seems to need, which has been a common thread through several of the couples, especially the women, is that she feels like she is in love with Austin and she wants him to say it to her. And we were talking about this with Katie and Derek last week and other weeks, because she's having the same issue of the fact that he would say, I don't know if I will be in love with you at the end of 8 weeks, seems to rattle her. And that makes her unsure of how much she wants to give, because she can't be sure that he will actually be in love with her in 8 weeks. Now, Dr. Viviana told Jessica to tell Austin how she feels. I don't know if I agree with Dr. Viviana, because as we said last week with Katie and Derek, you can look at behavior and see right now what that is saying to the other person.
Actions speak louder than words.
If I am committed to you and this marriage, and I'm behaving in a way that demonstrates that, why must you hear the words in a certain time period? You're not dating. Yeah. I can understand if you're dating and getting mixed messages, like you're all in and he's just not that into you, or she's just not that into you, and you're feeling insecure because the person that you're dating is not responding to you the way you feel about him or her. I get that.
But having papers, I think you're officially in a committed relationship.
Exactly. And that should make the difference in your being able to look at actions and see that that person is behaving in a committed way.
It should make you feel that those words are being said to you through action.
Right now, through action. And that they will come down the road.
Yeah. I mean, to me, that's trivial in comparison to what a person does as evidence of how they feel about you, how they're committed to you, how they want to make you feel, is a whole lot more valuable than 3 words being said to you.
And so then to keep harping on the words that are not being said verbally can begin to push somebody away, because if a person doesn't want to feel forced to say that to make you feel good. Those words carry weight. And there is validity to making sure that when you say I love you, that you really mean I love you
True.
fully. So, yay for Jessica not following Dr. Viviana's counsel to tell Austin how she feels, because she's already told him, because she has harped on that before.
Mm-hmm.
Say you love me. Let me hear, that kind of a thing. So, you guys leave it alone and
Trust.
just let it unfold naturally
Yeah.
so that it's meant. Okay, so that's Jessica and Austin. Let's see, who's next? Katie and Derek. Yes, Katie and Derek had a big blowout tonight. And it was a blowout that I don't understand.
No, I think you do. I think it really came down to what we indicated, and it's her insecurity.
Yeah, it's a security issue for her, but it manifests itself in her feeling that Derek's dreams, first of all, that he had too many, and that because they were too many, and she felt that they were stupid and trivial and unattainable, which she said, she seemed to feel like his dreams would take the place of her. Like, he can't be married to a wife and have a family, children, and have a family and have dreams too. I don't get that.
Crazy.
Because when you get married, you don't become each other's life.
True.
You are part of life.
You are a focal point.
Alton is a major part of my life.
Yes, I am.
And?
Oh, yeah.
Shut up.
You are a critical part of my life.
But he is not my life. True. And I am not his life. I have personal dreams, goals, desires to fulfill for myself as an individual. And he supports me in wanting to fulfill those goals and dreams as an individual. Mm-hmm. And vice versa.
True.
So Katie's starting this argument because A, she doesn't believe in Derek's dreams. B, she feels like his dreams, that him wanting to fulfill his dreams is taking her place.
Not only does she not support his dreams, she's indicated that she doesn't have any of her own at this time.
Right. Because when he said at the end, after they talked to the experts or whatever, and Dr. Viviana pointed out to Katie, okay, you're supposed to be his number one cheerleader. Yeah. So he's a little silly. He likes to have fun.
As most guys do.
You bring him down to reality and let him bring you up to dreaming. Yeah. It's a balance. But yeah, when they got back together, she said, I want you to say you want me. Not that you want your dreams and me, but that you want me. So right there, we knew it was a security issue. Yeah. All of this stuff that she's been saying is really about her feeling insecure. Why? Because she doesn't know if he will say that he will fall in love with her in 8 weeks. And then she doesn't know if, she can coexist with his dreams. Oh, that's exhausting. Because here's the reality. If he, again, is treating you like you are a priority.
Like you like being treated.
Then go with it.
Really?
Stop putting all these conditions on things. And, so what we're saying, we always have to pull out our book, Becoming a Professional Lover. Tip number 23 says, daily demonstrate your love for each other. And that's what both Austin and Derek have been doing. Yeah. Is demonstrating their love. They're not at the point of saying the 3 words, but they have been demonstrating. Yes, when you are married and you are in a long-term committed relationship and you know each other, you need both. You need the verbal and you need the behavior. Right now, Katie and Jessica are getting the behavior. And right now, at this point, considering what this context is, that should be enough right now.
It should be more substantial than what they're not getting.
Right.
Because it's just a personal desire to hear it. Eventually you will hear it. But it's not a deal breaker.
Right. And with Katie's issue, if your spouse dreams,
that's healthy.
We got another tip in here. Number 31 says, oh no, not 31. Number to respect each other's 26. To respect each other's needs and ideas as important. For Katie to call any of Derek's dreams as stupid and unrealistic, is not showing respect. Because they're unrealistic to you. He wants to write a book. He wants to write a song. Okay, go for it. Did we say this book or the song would get published? No. He wants to try it. What's wrong with trying it?
Did he say he wanted to do it tomorrow?
Exactly.
And it's not circumventing their time, their energy. It's just something that he wants to do eventually.
And as you said at the end, when he said, I want you and your dreams, she says, well, I haven't figured that out yet. Well, don't be mad at me because I've got mine figured out.
Yeah.
Don't hate on me because I've got a list of dreams and you don't.
Yeah. That is a classic case of being in different places even as you're together.
Right. And that's okay.
It is okay.
Because here's the reality, folk. You're going to have to take turns pushing each other toward your dreams.
True.
Because most likely, because you're going to have a family and because you've got other circumstances that pop up, you can't both go after your dreams 100% full-fledged at the same time.
True.
You're going to have to take turns. He supported me in getting my master's to go into teaching. Then I supported him in getting his master's. He supported me in starting my business. And now I'm supporting him in him starting a business. So the reality is you can't do it at the same time anyway.
True.
So lighten up.
It's just not as deep as some people assume it is.
Okay, so Mika and Michael. There's not too much there. I think Dr. Viviana said to Mika what we've been saying all along. Girl, you need to lighten up. Yeah. And you need to create an atmosphere that will help Michael want to be transparent.
To open up to you.
I can't say be honest, but to be transparent. Because Michael needs to be honest just because you need to be honest.
Because honesty is a virtue.
Yeah. So, and he was told that he needs to help her build trust by being honest.
Yeah. But it is critical. There was just a manner in which it was termed that he needs a place he needs a soft place to fall. And as she's indicated through her actions and through her communication and her demeanor, there isn't any soft spot in her.
There's no soft spot. And Dr. Viviana asked her, is he seeing this frustrated Mika all the time? And she was like, yeah.
Daily.
Yeah. So, again, while she has true, valid concerns, she can soften things up by our tip number 22. Frequent words of praise keep happiness and joy alive. Just affirmation, affirming him, acknowledging him. You know, would work wonders. And when the girls were meeting together at the end, and Taylor, said that Brandon had put his ring on, and she acknowledged that, or she apologized, and Mika was like, "Oh, that's good, great. That's wonderful." Well, and we both said, "Now, how come she ain't doing that to Michael?"
Exactly. I mean, some type of affirmation and acknowledgement of effort,
yeah,
can go a long way. It can go a long way.
So hopefully they'll get it together. And speaking of Taylor and Brandon, that leads us to them. I was surprised, actually, that they opened the door to each other to
talk again.
And agree to see if they can move forward. Do I think it's going to last? No. But, Brandon was so adamant last week and tonight in the beginning part of his conversation with Pastor Cal that he just, no, I'm not feeling it.
It was done.
But recognizing that they both built up walls that each of them caused themselves. And telling Pastor Cal, Dr. Viviana, what they need in order to move forward and to recommit to the process. They met up at the apartment.
Yeah.
And they had a
discussion.
A decent, cordial discussion.
They even touched each other afterwards.
And he came back to the house and he pulled back out his ring. So we'll see. They
got a large hurdle. There's a large
because they're feeding off of each other.
Yeah.
And Dr. Viviana, called it a game of chicken. They're both playing chicken, trying to see who's going to make the first move, and but there's been the slightest progress, and that's a good thing.
True.
And then that leads us to our last couple, who, Mindy and Zach. Mindy, girl, you just need to cut your losses and go. Because she's been full in. He's playing games. He's still playing games. And, she got her hopes all up when she laid out her demands of what she will need from him as part of the her recommitment to the marriage. One was that she wanted to see the text messages between him and her friend, which both of them deleted. Conveniently, right? She needed him to tell her from last week what she was lying to him about.
This dishonesty.
Which he would not reveal last week. She needed him to spend more time with her off camera. So apparently all the time he's been spending with her has been just what we see on the show.
Yeah.
And then lastly, she said he needed to move in. Which he brought over a change of clothes for pajamas for the night that he was spending in their apartment. And she was all giddy and excited.
Oh, she was.
She was like, okay, maybe this is going to be, for the first time since our honeymoon, I'll be waking up in our bed next to my husband. And he said, yeah, no, I'm going to go sleep in the other bedroom.
I mean, that was like a ugly twist of a movie.
Yeah, that was really bad.
I mean, what was the purpose of coming? If you're going to, ultimately, you're going to be in the exact same situation. You're not with me. So why are you even around me? And I'm just hoping from this that she's had enough.
Yeah. Because he's playing her, and
And it does make me wonder if he is doing this to promote himself.
well,
I really am. I mean, I
that's
thought about that.
that's what it appears to be, because even Pastor Cal was like, dude, I don't believe you. When he said, I can be the husband that she needs, I can recommit to her. And he was like, I straight up don't believe you, but I can't force you to get a divorce. So he's only going by what he says. And here's a clear case of what you say does not match your behavior. So all of this, I can recommit, I can be who she needs me to be, and yet you go and sleep in the other room. And when he was straight out asked, have you moved in? Well, we're talking about it. So we're talking about it. Dude, women, it is, Pastor Cal said it. If you don't have a standard, then men will tend to create their own standard.
True.
Other people say it a different way. People treat you the way you allow them to treat you.
Yes.
Even in marriage, your spouse will treat you the way you allow them to treat you. And if you allow them to be disrespectful, if you allow them to say one thing and do another, if you allow them to
if there is no accountability,
yeah,
then you're susceptible to anything.
yeah. And it's unfortunate that there are many couples who find themselves in that predicament because they either didn't follow red flags when they were dating, or they didn't have a standard when they were dating, or it wasn't high enough. Yeah. And what I mean by that is you have to negotiate, you have to compromise, but you don't compromise your values, and you don't compromise anything that treats you less than.
True.
You don't compromise on that. That means basic respect. That means honesty. That means consideration. That means kindness. That means, someone who is going to help you grow into the best person that you can be. And growing continues, right? So you don't compromise those things. Or else you find yourself in a situation that is negative and demeaning and will tear you down. Yes, unhealthy. I'm gonna go back to Katie and Derek, because she said one thing that we talked about that we forgot to mention. She says she was talking about change. We have to change some things. When you talk about change, you can only talk about yourself. Yeah. You can't change anybody.
Because as a couple, you can only grow.
Right. And it's not about changing, it's about growing.
Right.
And if in growth that changes you, that's great. But you can't talk about him changing. Sure. One thing, because we often kind of reflect on our own journey as we're watching Married at First Sight. And we were in the same age group as many of these couples. We were in our early 30s. Yeah. And so by your early 30s, you've lived a lot of life. You've done things a certain way. True. And I went into this knowing I can't change him, and I shouldn't try to change him. True. Who am I to try to make him change anything that he's done up until this point? And he's a grown man. And vice versa.
True. And for guys at 30 plus, playtime is over. If you're going to, you're not wasting time anymore. You're right. Not just doing something for the sake of doing something.
Unless you want to be.
Unless that's your MO.
Yeah.
But if you're about being committed to having a life with someone and sharing the rest of your life with someone, then literally playtime is over. You're committed to putting in the time to find out where a relationship can go. And that's where that effort and energy comes into. And that's where, after the effort and energy, comes the decision to be committed to it.
Right.
So,
and to take him or her as they are, and know that you each will evolve on your journey to becoming even better than you already are. But
grow.
It's about growth, and it's about changing yourself and not trying to change the other person.
True.
So that's it for tonight. We hope that you got something out of it. Leave us a comment. We like reading your feedback, and I like making comments to what you send us. So make sure you do that. And one of the couples who've been watching some of our videos, but who don't necessarily watch the show, suggested that we try to post some clips or actual footage of the show, which we'll try to do. That's a good suggestion. Thank you, Brian. And so we're going to go see if we can include a link of some sort with our video so that people who kind of want to see what we're talking about won't be so in the dark and won't have to guess about the context of our comments. So next week looks like it's going to be fireworks again. Yeah. And even for our top couple, Jess and Austin. So join us again next week.
Stay tuned.
Same time, same place, and we'll talk about the Married at First Sight issues. Until then, peace.
Enjoy.